More on the exciting action. Sportscaster and announcer for the PGA Tour, Doug Bell. Doug, it's so great to have you here this morning. Thank you. So I want to start with Aaron Rai here, hoisting the Wanamaker Trophy after pulling away from the likes of Jon Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler made a little run there. I mean, how did he end up pulling this huge upset off to end England's 107-year PGA Championship drought?
Yeah, Kyle and Charlotte, it truly was an amazing performance. And to think at the beginning of the week, he was 225 to 1. He was way down as far as odds. Why didn't we put $10 on him, guys? I don't know. And listen, I'm a cornball. 50 years ago in Philadelphia, the Rocky movie debuted, right? Rocky Balboa with a big upset.
Oh,
here we are
here
50 years later in real life. This guy pulls off a Rocky Balboa move. How did he pull it off? The last 10 holes, guys, he was 6 under par. No other player in the field came remotely close to that performance. It was an incredible finish. And who's to say if we'll ever win again? But this was the crowning moment for a man who you could call a journeyman, certainly not a household name.
You could.
But what an amazing story Aaron Rai is.
You know, I think all of us love the underdog story, right?
Yes.
We love to see someone win that doesn't often win because, I mean, Rory McIlroy is great, but he's there all the time.
Yeah. I love that you
Absolutely.
brought up the fact that, you know, this underdog story takes place in Philadelphia or just outside Philadelphia, the ultimate underdog story here. So, I mean, there were a lot of big names on this leaderboard.
Yeah.
All right. So we've seen some regular faces win a lot. You know, there's one right there. There's a man himself. So for the game of golf, how significant is it seeing someone like Rai win this, as opposed to a McIlroy or a Scheffler or, you know, Justin Thomas came in fourth, actually. So how significant is this win?
Kyle, it's very significant because really professional golf is the only sport where you can have something like this happen. The team sports, rarely do you have a David versus Goliath.
Right.
I mean, it happens occasionally, but golf is the one sport where a guy like Aaron Rai can rise up and beat the biggest names in the game. So I think it's wonderful for the game. The TV ratings may not be great when all is said and done, but nevertheless, for those of us who cover the game, it is so impressive. And to think, guys, listen, here's a guy who wears 2 black gloves. Nobody else does that.
Nobody.
He's done it ever since he was an 8-year-old. He still puts covers on his irons because as a kid, his dad said, please take care of your equipment. He's a remarkable guy. I've followed him. I've interviewed him. I've talked to him. Very low key. I didn't think he had it in him, but he did. And that's what makes it so significant.
And next up for golf's major is the U.S. Open, as you know, at the historic Shinnecock Hills on New York's Long Island. So what are you expecting to see? Will Rai come up again?
Well, I hope so. That would be great, right? But here's the deal, guys, and I may need to stay with you because I'm coming up, and I may need to, out there in New York. So let me know if you got any space in your places.
Yeah, that's a tough track. Shinnecock Hills out there on Long Island, really tough. It's going to be
very tough.
Very
Tougher than what we saw last week, guys. And imagine that.
Very much so. It's every time they host the U.S. Open there, it's infamous. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It'll
what do you
crazy.
expect, though? Who do you think could really shine at the U.S. Open?
Well, again, when you look back now, Scotty Scheffler had a very poor performance by his standards last week.
By his standards, yes.
Yes, low in the putting statistics. He needs the U.S. Open to complete the career Grand Slam. And I think the tougher the golf course, the better. I think that was just one of those weeks for Scotty Scheffler. And again, guys, Scotty Scheffler is the favorite every week he plays. So he'll be the favorite again. Yeah. But I suspect, listen, we had our underdog, our Rocky story at the PGA Championship. I suspect one of the bigger names will probably come through at Shinnecock Hills. As we said, it'll be a tougher setup than the PGA Championship, and the players were kind of belly aching about that setup at Aronimix, so we'll see what happens in June.
Yeah.
All right. Doug Bell, always great having you with us. Thank you so much for your insight.